In this video, we're going to work on examples 10.14 and 10.15 from your book. If you'd like to follow along, open the Chapter 10 classwork.xlsx workbook from My Courses and click on the EX 10.14 worksheet tab. In this example, we're going to deal with logistic regression. With logistic regression, it's like a normal regression. The only thing is your answer, or your y, is a categorical variable. That means it could be group 1, 2, or 3. It's not going to be group 1.4 or 2.7 or 3.25. The answer is either 1, 2, or 3. The most often used version of logistic regression is a yes-no. So the answer is either going to be 0 for a no or 1 for a yes. So in this case, our 0 and 1 is going to be column F, the decision. So the first thing I'm going to do is partition the data. So I'm going to click any cell within the list. On the Data Mining tab, I'm going to click Partition and then Standard Partition. That's because I've already worked on this before, excuse me. So in the Variables and Input Data, I'm going to single click Homeowner, hold down the Shift key, and then click Decision to select all of the variables, and then I'm going to click the arrow to send them over to selected variables. I'm going to accept all of the other defaults, and then I'm going to click OK. After I click OK, I'm going to get my STD partition worksheet. I'm going to take in the Output Navigator, I'm going to click Partition Data, and I come down to the beginning of the partition data. So I'm going to click any cell within the list, and still on that Data Mining tab, I'm going to click Classify, and then Logistic Regression. For the logistic regression, I'm going to single click Decision, and that is going to be my output variable, and every variable except record ID is going to be in selected variables. So I'm going to single click Homeowner, hold down the Shift key, and click Revolving Utilization to select all of the variables, or I could click them one by one and then click the arrow to send them into selected variables. Notice how I have my training and validation set because I've used my partition data. I'm going to accept all of the other defaults. I have 2 classes, yes or no. One is going to be my success class because that is going to be approved the loan. I'm going to go to the next step, so I'm going to click Next. If I uncheck Fit Intercept, I will get a 0 for the intercept. I won't have an intercept, so I'm going to accept the default. I have my iterations, and I can also do an advanced analysis of coefficients if I want. There's also advanced prior probability and feature selection. I'm going to accept all the defaults on this screen and click Next. I'm not going to bother with the lift charts this time, and in the next example we will score the new data. So I'm going to click Finish, and if I click Regression Summary in the Output Navigator, it gives me the predictor screening, which means that all of them are going to be included, and there are my coefficients for my regression, which will give me the answer of either 0 or 1. Now we're going to work on example 10.15. I'm going to use the navigation arrows in the bottom left-hand corner and scroll through the worksheet tabs until I see the EX 10.15 worksheet tab. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click on any cell within the list. I'm then going to click Data Mining, Classify, and Logistic Regression. I'm going to single click Decision and send that to my output variable. I'm going to single click Homeowner, hold down my Shift key and click Revolving Utilization. Notice how all the variables are selected. I'm going to use the arrow to send them to selected variables, and I'm going to accept all of the other defaults. Now I'm going to click Next, and I'm going to tell Excel to partition the data. So I'm going to check the box to partition the data and accept all the defaults for 60/40 training and validation sets. I'm going to click Done, and then I'm going to click Next. Now I'm going to click Score New Data in Worksheet. Up in the data range for the new data, I'm going to click the ellipsis and then click the data range, H3 to L9, and click OK. I am then going to tell it to match by name and click Finish. I now have my new classification details, and for all of my records it gives me my decision, whether it is 0 or 1, the probability of it being a 1, and the probability of it being a 0.